Never ever give up. No matter how difficult your life is, it couldn't be as difficult as mine was. I did not give up on life and on survival. I want you to, whatever you do in life, remember that lesson. I realize, I know, and I remember, and I'm always glad to see that there are a lot of young people in the audience. Growing up is very hard. And it's very hard, even if you live in the United States, even if you live in Logansport, because every single one of you young people wonders, how on earth will I fit into this big, big mixed up world? Will I be able to accomplish in life what I set out to do? And I can tell you, as we observe today, Dr. Martin Luther King's memorial, that Dr. King never gave up on himself. He never gave up on his dreams. Would he have given up on his dreams, we would not celebrate his death. So what I'm asking you all to do, never ever give up on yourselves and on your dreams. And I guarantee to you that you are going to accomplish in life what you set out to do. Lesson number 2 deals with prejudice. Hitler and the Nazis would have never been able to rise to power if they did not use prejudice. What is prejudice? Prejudice is such a sinister thing. I call it the cancer of the human soul. It starts out like a little seed of cancer, and if we do not stop it, and if we do not stand up against it, it grows into an ugly weed of hatred and violence. It can start with somebody calling somebody else a name. And what should we do when we see a classmate, a neighbor, as somebody being called a name? For no reason except they are a little bit different, or maybe they act differently. My solution to that is that we should always stand up for one another. We all have the power by our own voices and our own actions to stand up for one another. Can you imagine if when the first Jewish family was picked up in Germany, in Hitler's Germany, the neighbors would have said, you cannot do that. How about if in the South or during the violence against black people, and I will apologize. I will tell you what my problem is. I always, calling you African Americans, I meant white African Americans. I was surprised, but the parents came from South Africa and they were pretty white. So I have a little bit of difficulty saying African Americans unless I will add to it black, because otherwise, so when you look at me, I am white. When I look at you, you are black, and that is the only difference that I see. So I apologize. I know that the leaders in the black movement, I like to refer to you as African Americans. After I met these white African Americans, I said that it doesn't compute in my brain, so I have a little bit of problem with that. But basically, what if you were used with violence? I watched some of the films of the civil rights movement where you couldn't go to a restaurant because they didn't serve black people. What if the neighbors, the people who saw it, not only you, but they should have gone in with you and said, you don't serve these people, we are not going to eat here. And actually, in Terre Haute, Indiana, one of our docents is a 91-year-old German Jew who was he was the chief buyer for a women's clothing store, and he had a few, I think 2 black people working with him, and they wanted to go to lunch. 1956. And the black people said, well, we cannot go there, they are not going to pay us. He said, you come with me. He didn't know he was practicing civil rights. And he said, we are going to go in there, and they looked at Mr. Walter Summers, and they said, well, we can serve you, but we can't serve you two friends. He said, okay, we don't serve them, goodbye, I'm not coming back here. And guess what? Without any fanfare, without any report, he was served, and so were his black friends. So what I'm saying is a very simple example. I'm sure we have seen it practiced throughout the world. When we stand up for one another, we stop prejudice and we stop it from becoming an ugly weed of hatred and violence. I want you to know that unfortunately prejudice is still with us, and I will just tell you a little funny story that I have prejudice. I don't like the way young people dress today. I don't like guys with ponytails. I don't like young girls with the low-cut blouses. They come to the museum and I wonder, are they auditioning for a sexy role in the movie? Why are they wearing their blouses? These are 13, 14-year-old kids. And I tell them, you should wear uniforms. Oh, they are awful. I said, why do you go to school? Oh, I go to school to learn. I said, what on earth do you learn when you are dressing like that? The guys love it, but I don't think that was the purpose of your parents in sending you to school. So anyway, I don't like tattoos, body piercings of any sort. And then, of course, the ugly baggy pants.